Hello, yes, I'm Hayley Matthews. I'm Director of Lay Training for the Diocese of Leeds, and I'm also a trustee for the William Temple Foundation. I think there are quite a few signs of hope in society today, particularly when I see young people mobilising themselves politically and actually engaging with the political debates. And I think the way that people are actually beginning to come together in all sorts of disparate communities are joining together and coalescing around really important issues of the day, and I find that really hopeful. On the other hand, that yes, the signs of fear that I see are pretty much almost the opposite, that I see young people who have almost forgotten. I think it's interesting that it's the generation whose grandparents were not part of any of the world wars, and you know, we're kind of losing that memory of the Second World War, and fascism is on the rise again. And I find it really interesting that as soon as the memory of war dissipates, that, you know, the right wing reasserts itself, and that I find a concern. I think the role of religion and belief in society is vitally important. I think there are two aspects to it. First of all, religious literacy and enabling people to understand faith, whether they believe or they don't believe, to bring down the walls between people, so that fear dissipates and that we can be one community, a multi-faith community. But I think also understanding how much of our society is built upon our faith, and I always feel so proud as an English person, you know, the legacy of Beveridge, of the educators in the Victorian era, the Queen being the supreme governor of the church, our justice system, so many things have been built upon the Christian faith, and I don't ever want to lose that, and in fact I'd like to see us built upon it. The things I find most inspiring about William Temple, his ability to speak truth to power, to not be afraid of getting really involved with the politics of his day, but also challenging the anti-Semitism that he challenged, the way that he challenged the way that workers' rights were not being upheld, the way that he wasn't afraid to speak out for those who didn't have voices, and for me that really resonates. I'd love to see the William Temple Foundation continuing to build on that legacy, to be able to speak into policy, to be able to speak into political debate, but also I love the fact that, you know, as a foundation we're drawing practitioners together so that we're not just a think tank, we're actually enabling people who are facilitating communities to be self-led, self-supporting, to challenge structures of power. You know, enabling that is a really big thing, and I'd love to see that continue.